Okay, this is the second video on the Luette, and this is actually spinning on it. I'm going to do this with a white merino and silk blend just because it's easy for you to see. And I also think that another video that I did a few weeks ago, I didn't have you couldn't quite see what I was doing. I don't even know how else to say it. So I wanted to redo this anyway. So I'm going to spin drafting from the fold, but I want to explain a few things to begin with. There are two fundamental ways of spinning. One is woolen, the other is worsted, W-O-R-S-T-E-D. Let's take a staple length of this and illustrate it. If this is all kind of tangled around and you get it to twist and spin in so that the fibers are not in a particular arrangement, that is woolen. It is loftier, meaning that there's more air in it because all that structure is holding itself apart, okay? Because it's loftier, it is warmer, but because it's all tangled, it is a little bit of a duller finish because you've got the light is refracting all over it rather than along one angle where you get more shine, okay? And tends to be less defined with both knit and weave structure. I'm not sure about crochet, okay? The other way that you could spin would be as if you had cut off a long ponytail and then turned and spun straight in so that all the fibers march into the yarn in a line. That's worsted, W-O-R-S-T-E-D. It is more compressed because they're all together. It is therefore not, it doesn't have the insulative, it doesn't insulate you as well. It's not as warm, all right? But it is shinier because you're getting that lovely light along one plane, and also you will tend to get better stitch definition, okay? Now, for right now, we're not going to talk clockwise or counterclockwise. I also don't do S or Z. We're not going to talk that, but there are ways that you can take advantage of, particularly the hard, shiny, high stitch definition qualities of worsted by which way you spin or combining the two. All right, so let's just get to the Luette, though. When I start somebody on a great wheel, which is a big walking wheel, muckle wheel, whatever you want to call it, I call it a great wheel, okay? I start them this way. I start people this way on a treadle wheel as well. I'd probably start you this way on a Sharka now. Get a reasonable amount of fiber at one length of the hairs. That is the staple length, okay? I might spin from a whole bunch of it because I've been doing this since dirt was young. You might spin from less of it because you're just beginning or you want more control. Either way, take your finger, left or right. It makes no difference. It doesn't matter what your hand dominance is. I'm going to put it over my left because that's the way that I've done it the most. And that's the fold. I am folding it over my finger. Then, we already have this set up. I'll link the other, okay? And I want it pretty low key. All right, so I've got the bobbin strap, the flyer break entirely off, and I'm just spinning as it is. And I am going to build some twist up in my leader cord. Then I'm going to stop. And I'm going to make sure, yeah, you can see me this time. Then I'm going to put those ends on top of the fold, and I'm going to twist so that the twist goes into the fibers. Then I'm going to hold it with my thumb and build some more twist up, not too much, okay? And see how that does. At this point, they've kind of married. And so I'm going to slowly treadle, and do a short forward draw. I'm holding the fold here, and I'm drawing forward this way. Gives you a tremendous amount of control. And then I went backwards, and it came off. I did this in the other video as well. It is your destiny. So, I don't have an orifice hook because I'm not special. And I'm going to do it again. So, I'm going to build up lots of twist. Twist. And then I'm going to lie it down on top. I'm going to let it build up, twist. Then I'm going to slow down. That's my equivalent of fast forwarding. Short, forward, draw. Now, I'm doing a few things. That's the drafting area, that triangle. You don't want it to run, you don't want the twist to run all the way into the fiber, or it'll get all of it, and then you will have a mess, okay? So you want the drafting area to have this little triangle coming off, all right? Let's get going again so I don't do the same thing. All right. Now, another thing I want to point out, you remember when I did the woolen is all tangled, worsted is all organized? I can actually kind of control that here, okay? Because the way that I am bringing these fibers out, I am pretty much aligning them so that they are parallel, running side by side to each other anyway. So I have what would be known as a semi-worsted. If I went a little bit more tangled, I can't even really do it, but let's pretend that I was able to get it, particularly with a shorter fiber, okay? I'd be able to run it kind of entangled. That would be a semi-woolen. So the word you use, semi-worsted, semi-woolen, the semi is the same, it means partly, but the worsted means it's mainly worsted, or the woolen means it's mainly woolen, but it's not pure, okay? So this is how I would recommend starting. Just a little bit at a time. You can do it up close. This is what I call feed the baby bird. Here you go. But that might make you nervous. Makes me nervous. So I'm going to back up a little bit. And I can even back up by, guess what? Giving myself some of the yarn, okay? And I can work out here. That way, I am not feeding the giant greedy baby bird and having a freak out attack because I don't know what I'm doing, okay? So give yourself, give yourself some yarn, holding this so that it doesn't untwist, then get going and feed the bird from a distance. Later, you'll go into, once you got some speed and you know what you're doing, you'll go into long draw from this very same configuration. Look, Ma, no hand. Okay. There.